Good morning, everybody. So on the live stream last night, there was a couple people who wanted to see a trucking video. So I'm trucking all day today and a little bit tomorrow as well. We've got to take some crush and run to a couple spots, and we got to pick up 3 loads of topsoil today, 2 more tomorrow. Hopefully we get those 2 more tomorrow. We may have some rain, may push that to the day. I don't know, that's kind of in flex right now, we'll see. But right now I'm over here at the plant, and the loader guy's coming to get me some crush and run. So let's get loaded up and get to our first delivery today. Give the girl some go-go juice really quick. Oh, come on. All right, what are we paying? $4.26 today, and 9 out of 100. There we go. Old girl needs a bath badly. She needs a bath. All right. We're almost our first delivery. Let's get some go-go juice and we will be on our way for the day. Okay, so the client wants this in here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to reverse tailgate this, and I'm going to set my chains here, if I can do this one-handed. Now typically if I'm doing 57, I'll set these chains at 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But this stone for this crush and run, it's got a few clods in it too, so hopefully it doesn't jam on me. And it's a little wet, so I'm gonna set them at 13. And because I don't have a far run to go, so I want it a little thicker anyway. So let's see if I can do this one-handed again. Sorry. There we go. Let's try that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. And the reason I know this is because I've experimented with this. I mean, I've had this truck for about 4 years now doing this. So I've just been, you know, when I first got it, I started experimenting with tailgating. So 12 works great for 57, but for this stuff, especially when this stone, when it's a little wetter like it is now because of all the rain, 13 seems to work really good. 14 will work too, but it comes out really thick. So let's try to get this tailgated really quick. This is a little bit of what I was worried about with these clods in here, because this crush and run has been wet and it's been sitting for a little while. So it makes these big, they're not rocks, it's just clotted up. So I'm gonna try to get this out, and we're gonna dump it right here in this low spot and try to get that filled in a little bit better. So that should work well. particularly love reverse tailgating, but I was worried about this low spot and rutting that up because it's really soft right there, and either getting stuck or rutting it up really bad if I pulled back in there and then tailgated. So reverse tailgating is a little bit harder to do. And then I was worried about the truck on this. You can't see it, but there's a pretty good angle right there, and with that bed up in the air like that, this thing can get pretty tippy very easily. So I told her I'd do the best I could with it. So there's going to be a little bit of raking involved here, but she said that was fine. So better than it being in a pile. Sometimes you just got to work with what you're given. It's not always ideal conditions in these muddy areas. Usually the stone needs to go where it's most muddy. So did the best I could with it. That's all I could do. So, but all right, on to the next project, or next load. They're shutting down this mine where I used to get fill dirt as well as topsoil. So there used to be like 4 or 5 guys working over here every day when they were running this thing. They would do like 300 dump trucks a day in here sometimes. I mean, they did a lot of dirt out of this mine. So they're shutting it down. The little bit of dirt that they are getting out, I think they're using for their own purposes, because they're actually a site work company as well, along with doing this mine. So they got one guy over here. So he's tracking the big Volvo all the way back here to the topsoil pile to fill me up. So hopefully it won't take him too long. Okay, so let's talk about why I'm in the dump truck today and not mulching. That's a good question. So, when I first got into business, when me and Kelly were putting this together, my original plan was to use this truck to pull my equipment around with and work out of every day. The skid steer and the Mini that I had at the time, the little John Deere 35 that I had, I was going to use this truck and pull that equipment with it. I found out very quickly that just wasn't going to work. The main reason why is because all the things I need on a day in and day out basis that I need to take with me out on a job, the blower, my tools, the hedge trimmer, the fuel cans, etc., would not fit in this truck. And it wasn't feasible to put them in the bed back there, and they can't go in the cab. So there was no point in using this truck for that purpose. So when I got into business, I started finding things like, hey, I've got this truck. I found fill dirt, topsoil, and crush and run to start selling when I wasn't working. And that was great, because that was one thing I did know when I went into business, was that the market here and where I'm at was not going to be big enough to support me mulching and brush cutting every day. It just wasn't. And so I needed something to help sort of fill that gap. And the dump truck ended up being the perfect thing for that purpose. And I didn't know when I bought it, it was going to be as big of an asset that it has been, but it has been. Am I getting rich off selling topsoil and gravel and crush and run? No, by no means I'm not getting rich. I ain't gonna be Jeff Bezos selling this stuff. But am I paying my bills? Hell yeah, I'm paying my bills. So it's definitely been a huge blessing. And you know, I wish I was in a bigger market. Sometimes like John up, you know, with Upstate Brush Control in Greenville, that's a huge market. Chris with Let's Dig 18 up in Raleigh, that's a huge market up there. You know, you can stay busy doing that kind of stuff all day, every day in those type of markets. Unfortunately, where I'm at, you just can't. So diversification has really been a key, you know, success with my business in keeping me busy. And that's what I talked about when people ask me about getting into this business. You know, first thing I ask them is, what's the market? What market are you in? You know, are you out in the middle of nowhere? You know, or are you in a big market where there's going to be a lot of potential clients? So if you're in a big market, you can probably, once you get your name out there, you can probably get by with doing just mulching a lot of times. You know, even if there's a lot of other people out there doing it, because there's still a lot of demand for it. But down here, there's just not. So, and the dump truck has been great for also getting me leads. I do driveways with it. It's helped me get some leads on redoing or regrading some backyards, mulching out some backyards, because when I go and drop stuff off, I'm like, hey, I also do forestry mulching. If we can help you with anything, please let me know. And I've gotten several jobs, mulching jobs, from taking people's stone or topsoil or dirt or whatnot. So that's also been a great blessing as well. So just something to think about, you know, when you're going into business, doing this kind of work. This thing has definitely been a huge blessing for me, and you know, I'm lucky to be able to get the materials I can. I can't get fill dirt anymore, but I'm still selling topsoil and crushing run, especially right now when it's wet. You know, you can't mulch when it's wet. It just doesn't work. You can't get a very good, nice consistency with the mulch. The mud gets in everything, and then also you start making ruts, and the property just gets a rutty, muddy mess. You know, it just doesn't work. But when it starts raining a lot, I start getting a lot of calls for that crush and run that I sell, which is just crushed concrete. It's leftover concrete from the concrete trucks at the end of the day. They come back to the plant, they dump their excess concrete on the ground, and the plant piles it up in the back, and then about every 6 months to a year, roughly speaking, when they get enough of it, they subcontract it out, and a guy comes in with a big crusher and some excavators, and they crush it all up. So it's very clean, and there's no metal or trash or anything in it. So I've had really good success with that, and everybody that I've delivered it to loves it. So just wanted to go on a little rant there about why I'm not mulching today, and we're sitting in this dump truck with no air conditioning. This has been a great truck though. I've enjoyed having it. So, all right, let's get to the next delivery. We're taking this topsoil up the road here. We ain't got too much further to go, so let's get to it. I've been coming to this mine since I've been in business, basically for 4 years, and that water, I've never seen groundwater that clear. I mean, it almost looks tropical out there. And it's been that way since the day first day I ever came out here, and I've never seen it that deep, because they stopped digging, they stopped pumping on this section. They had a pump, and they would control the groundwater in different sections and have it mostly dry down in there, but they're not digging down in there, so they've let it fill back up. But I mean, it almost looks tropical, and they don't dye it either, not to my knowledge. I've never seen them do it. I think that's just the natural color of the water out here, and it's just super pretty. It's going to make a beautiful lake out here, as what they're going to turn it into, I believe. I don't think they're going to fill the whole thing in, but yeah, it's really pretty. All right, let's get this second load delivered. On to the next one. We had one guy reschedule for next week, so we're only doing 4 deliveries today. But let's get on to it. So we're going to tailgate the little section of this driveway. I'm going to set my chains again at, do this with one hand. Sorry. Trying to do this one hand. I'm going to set them at 13. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we'll do one more. There we go. Get back through there. Come on. A little more. That's probably it right there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 on the money. All right. So I checked the load. When he dumped it, I didn't really see too many clods. So we're just going to go straight through here. Should be pretty easy. I'm just going to drive forward and try to keep everything right here in this low spot about where the dump truck is. And where they're having problems getting through the driveway. So let's see if we can't make this look nice and keep it from getting muddy. That went really well. We got that tailgated in. I can't say she's the owner, she's the tenant here, and she's very happy with this because if you can see right there, she got stuck there the other morning, so she's very happy with that. So that should keep her from getting stuck going through here, and that should work very well. It's not perfect, especially if you go just forward, you can usually get it really good, but once you start backing up and going over it a second time, it gets to be a little bit more uneven, but it is a thicker base through this low area here. Instead of doing the whole driveway, this is really where she needed it. So that should definitely keep her from getting stuck. Probably really needs fabric as well, but most people don't know about that. They just call me and say, I need to bring the stone. So that's what I do. So I try to tailgate where I can. As long as there's no overhead obstacles or power lines, I'm typically able to do it, you know, in a forward go like that. This morning was a little bit different doing it in reverse. That's not typical, you know, but I didn't really have any other choice. I was worried about getting stuck if I backed through that low area in that hole in the first job, in that first driveway. So, but this was pretty straightforward, just this one little section, and she's gonna call me back in a couple weeks to do the rest of the driveway on back around the house. There's another little soft spot where they park on the back, so we'll get that taken care of as well, and it should work. Keep them getting stuck right here. All right, let's get out of here. All right, just showed up down here on the start of day 2. We got 2 loads of topsoil to pick up today, and He's tracking the big Volvo 350 down here right now. We're gonna get loaded up and get these 2 loads of topsoil out of here. I really like this topsoil that they make here. They make this locally. They've got a big, where's that screener at? It was, I think it's down there, or it was down there. They had a big screener here, and they make this topsoil locally, and I've been delivering it for close to 4 years now, and I've never had a complaint with it. It's really good stuff. So, and they sell it at a really good price. So, beautiful day today. It's Friday, so let's get these 2 loads knocked out, and we'll be pretty much done for the day. So I'm going to show you guys how I do this PTO really quick. So how this works is the PTO runs off the transmission. So what we have to do a little finagling here with the transmission to get the PTO to actually engage. So we're going to put this, it has to be in either drive or reverse. We're going to put it in reverse here a little bit. And I'm going to flip that switch back, and it needs to back up. So when that light comes on, PTO is engaged. So, but to get it to raise the bed, we got to put it back into neutral, and then we can go ahead and start raising our bed. And then that releases. Okay, and we're gonna hit the gas just a little bit, give it a little go-go juice to help the bed raise. She should come right on out. Heads up, we'll pull forward, here comes the boom. Alright, back to neutral. Drop the tailgate, drop the bed. Comes all the way back down. We'll put it back into drive. Release the PTO. Pull forward a little bit, and drop our tailgate, and latch our tailgate, and that's how it's done, folks. Let's go check our pins and check our load, make sure everything's good, and we'll be on to the next one. everybody, just got back to the shop. Day is over with. We got some rain coming here in the next hour or so, so it's supposed to get a little bit of rain. Not as much as we've had, but really wish it wasn't going to rain. But I know this isn't my normal video, but some people asked me to make a trucking video. Said they would enjoy it, so I figured I would make some content since I wasn't really doing much mulching this week. So that turned out pretty well. But stay tuned for next week, because we are going to be doing some mulching. And then Monday, so you guys will see that video on probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Monday, I'm going to go hang out with Land Services Company on a mulching job. And we're going to be hopefully seeing a fan favorite in action on Monday. So stay tuned for that. I think that's going to be a great video, as long as that's still on the board. I think it still is. So really hopeful for that, and stay tuned for more stuff. It's Friday, the weekend is here, so you guys will probably see this video Saturday. So have a great weekend. Appreciate everybody watching the channel, and we will be back with more stuff next week. So stay tuned. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.